So reports are swirling saying that the DEA is pushing back on the Biden administration and the HHS's recommendation to move cannabis to a Schedule III substance. And they're doing this all while Biden is campaigning, wearing the rescheduling move like a feather in his cap. Now, apparently, someone familiar with the matter says the DEA is trying to refute a bunch of the claims the HHS made when they recommended the cannabis be moved. So while they are carrying out their own review, they're trying to argue that cannabis has any medical value at all. I mean, seriously, that's almost not even a question anymore. There's an FDA-approved cannabis medication. The science, that little bit of science that is allowed to happen, has been listing the medicinal value of compounds like CBD for years. 38 states have adopted medical cannabis programs, but the DEA is flipping all that the bird and going, nope, I don't see any medical benefits at all. And I don't even know how they have the cojones to even pretend like that's true. The Congressional Research Service says it's likely the DEA will wind up rescheduling, based on past precedent, but the DEA has a long history of hating on cannabis, let alone its past. A former administrator that served under Trump said the science doesn't support rescheduling of marijuana. Timothy Shea, a former DEA head, said doing that will harm public health and safety. Paul Armentano, the deputy director of NORML, said, quote, the DEA historically has been hostile to any efforts to amend marijuana's federal status, even once going so far as to overrule its own administrative law judge in order to keep cannabis from being removed from its Schedule I placement. He's talking about DEA Judge Francis Young in 1988, saying marijuana in its natural form is one of the safest, therapeutically active substances known to man. By any measure of rational analysis, marijuana can be safely used within a supervised routine of medical care. That's their own guy saying it. And the administrator at the time went to huge lengths to overturn his ruling and keep marijuana illegal. Armentano continued, given this history, one would be hardly hard-pressed to presume that there are some within the agency who wish to cling to their flat earth cannabis policies at all costs. So no one knows when the DEA will finally make its decision, but many are guessing it'll be closer to the November election coming up. The potential of descheduling is significantly helping Biden's poll numbers, and he's starting to put the pressure on the DEA to come around. He mentioned it in his State of the Union address, a historic first. Kamala Harris brought it up in a round table on marijuana policy as well. And beyond that, governors and lawmakers from legal states are all screaming for something to be done. And it's all getting pretty hard to ignore.